Hi guys, it's Amy with Aim to Plan, and today I am back with another prep video for 2024. So I got the comment that planning for 2024 seems so far in advance, but I do like to plan early just because for things like work in particular, I work on an academic year, so I need to be able to have my plan for 2024 kind of set up so that way I can write down all the events. And so for sure for my work planner, I want to be able to do that. I did also in a previous video talk about my prep planner, which is where I write down all of my like pre-planning, all the things that I have in my personal and work life, but mostly personal life, is my functional planner that I put together for that. So I'll try to link that in the video, in the description, so you can see that. But now I'm going to set up my work planner. This will probably be the only other video that I'm setting this far in advance. Again, for work, I do operate on an academic year as a professor, and so I need to be able to basically look at August 2023 all the way through until May 2024. And so having the planner ready for the entire year is just really helpful for me. So I just wanted to put that out there just because I got the comments like, it's very far in advance. But again, I just need to have the planner ready, especially for when school starts in August. So let me go ahead and talk to you about my setup currently and then talk about like some options that I have for what I want to do. So here is my current planner for work. This planner was one that I put together for originally for not Sophia's, for Rosie's memory book, but I decided to pull it out of the rotation for Rosie's memory book and use a different thing for Rosie. And so I had this like kind of leftover one that I had DIY'd and like hacked up and put onto discs from a quill bound planner. And so I didn't want to, just leave it kind of hanging. And also because I had already converted it, I wanted to use it and just kind of use it up. And so I decided to use it for my work planner. And it is right now good until, it will be good. What happened to these pages? Oh no, okay, these are the random dividers, I'm sorry. It was originally an 18-month planner. I did end up just kind of tossing the pages that were outdated, and so it is a current planner. I have July in my Frankenplanner right now, and then I have August through December of 2023 in here. And it is still good, it's still ready to go, and it is a vertical layout. So this is what it looks like, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and continue using it just because, again, I don't want to like just throw it away and not use it. I do tend to kind of time block at work, and I split it up and try to keep it kind of chronological, where it's going to be like on Tuesdays when I have classes, I'll put my class schedule in here, and then Thursdays when I have classes, I'll put that in there. But I think for fall semester, one of the things that will really work for me is that I only teach classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I of course know my schedule. And so what I'm going to do is, instead of putting the classes in here, I might put the classes on this side just so I can kind of lesson plan a little bit. I'll just put like 4 boxes here to lesson plan for the 4 classes that I teach, and then I'll use the rest of the space as like administrative stuff. So I want to maybe consider putting like administrative stuff here, and then or maybe like meetings, and then administrative stuff, and then tasks, something like that. So I do try to adapt and just use what I have, and so because I have these vertical pages, I want to be able to use them, and so I'll use this through 2023. But then I also have a ton of like big happy planner stuff, and I decided, I think what I'm going to do is, because I am like finishing out this classic vertical, and just wanting to also get rid of and use up some of my big happy planner stuff, I am going to go ahead and move into a big size for 2024. Now I want to show you this first because this is actually what I think I'm going to do. I have a bunch of like big size stuff. So of course I have like there's like some old notes, but like I have big vertical pages, and then I have like a ton of big vertical pages, like so many, from like random planners that I bought on like super discount. I also have in the back here this work plus life planner, which has like these additional pages, which I think might be useful for me. So it might be something that I incorporate into 2024. I'm not sure yet. But then of course these are big vertical pages, and so this whole book right here is big vertical. Now this is going to be, for me in 2024, my plan B. I think that because I've gotten used to using the classic vertical, it's just an easy shift to move into a big vertical, and I was using big vertical prior to switching to the classic vertical, so I've been kind of back and forth between sizes, but I've kind of used the vertical for a while. But I also have this little notebook. And this one is much thinner. So let me, well, I don't know if I can show you. My setup is like really kind of hard to do this with big sizes, but it's like a much thinner kind of setup. This one is like packed full, right? Again, I don't know if you can see that, but it's a lot more pages of like outdated like big vertical stuff. But here I have just kind of like a small collection of big teacher layout planners. And I thought this would be fun to use. I did recently haul the Disney 100 planner, and I don't know if I want to use that or not, if I want to use it as a planner or if I want to convert it to a memory book. I want to kind of, I'm thinking maybe put together like a Disney planner, but I also really love the classic size. And these pages I tend to kind of use and just kind of recycle once I'm done with it. Like my work planner doesn't need to stay long term with me. It's just for me to track all the things I need to do. So, you know, I'm still kind of deciding for the Disney 100 planner. But because that's a teacher layout, it is something where I can use the weekly pages at some point as my work planner, and I don't necessarily need to keep it long term, but the dividers and the cover and everything else could be used for like a memory book. So anyway, I'm just kind of like throwing out all the ideas, but I thought that because I had that Disney 100 planner, I would try to move into the the big teacher layout, and this little book is full of all the teacher layout pages that I have remaining. I shouldn't say that. I have other teacher layouts, but they're like complete planners. These are all like kind of like the loose random pages that I had in my stash that I definitely need to use down. And so the way that I kind of break down my planners is to put the pages together, and if I'm able to make like 5 weeks worth of pages that kind of match each other together, like so if I can find, for example, 5 pages of these, I kind of put them together so that way I can like in a random month just pull them out and use them. But this book right here is all like the additional pages that didn't make a full month. They didn't make 5 weeks worth. So just as an example, this one is like, for example, that's like literally 1 week, right? And so then here it's like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right? So it's like 3 weeks. So you kind of get what I'm saying. I didn't have enough pages to make like 5 full weeks. And so I kind of put them into this notebook. And I think that what I'm going to do is just use this. Again, I'm trying to use up my supplies. And so I think for 2024, I'm going to go ahead and use these big size pages. And in order to commit to it, I've been doing really good about committing to like sticking to one size in one planner and like kind of doing it. But what I'm going to do is go ahead, commit to this, and like start the process of like making this my 2024 planner by redating it. And I'm not going to do it in this video. This was just my video to kind of talk about it. I do love redating, but redating is one of those things where, you know, it can be kind of boring to watch. Let's be honest with that. I love redating, but I'm going to do that off video. What I'm going to do instead to like commit to this planner is to move this classic vertical over here, and we're going to combine these two things together so that way they exist together. And then I will like at a later date, like probably sometime over the weekend, go through and like start redating this. And the way I redate this planner is to kind of just white off these things and go ahead and get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday across here. So I'll redate the month and like get this out and like redate across here. And so for me with this planner, what I'm thinking is that I have I basically have 2 face-to-face classes and then 2 online classes. So I'm gonna probably, I don't know, I think I'll only need 1 row for like class type stuff, because like I don't know. All right, I might need 2, so I'm going to save 2 rows for class related stuff. And then just like for the classic vertical right here, where like one was like meetings and then one was administrative stuff and then one was like a to-do list, I might do the same thing here. So I will see how it goes when I get into the fall semester. It's kind of a new way of doing it to me. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, also I can use the sidebar and like track my classes here. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But again, I'm going to redate this and kind of consider what I'm doing with life at a later time. But what I'm going to do now is move all these pages over. And so this is kind of my psychological commitment to myself, right? Like once I move it over and they live in the same planner, then I mean, I have to use it, right? They are in the same planner at this point. And what I'm going to do is leave the portions that I've already used in here. I do want to leave the 2023 on the classic discs, because I want to be able to flip through the entire thing at the end of 2023, and then at that point I can kind of like archive the whole thing. I did this year, you know, at the very beginning of the year, try to make the decision. I did make the decision to keep all of my 2023 planners, even though normally I just recycle all of them when I'm done with them. But you know, I've had some people ask for like full year flip throughs of functional planners, and so this is it, right? I also have a couple of, let's see, I need December. But I also have a couple of dividers, extra dividers in here, and I don't think I'm going to pull those over, just because I don't think I'll use those. Yeah. And then I have, yeah, oh yeah, I thought I threw these away, but then I have all these extra pages from like the beginning months of this planner. So, now I'm wondering if I should stick in here. This might be like the craziest randomest video, but I might be able to use some of these pages for 2024. Right, this is like real life decision here. Okay, and then like right here, this starts like January. Okay, so like these pages I'm going to leave in here because that I want to kind of keep for the 2023 flip through. Okay, what I'm going to do is go ahead and take these pages out then. And again, just to try to use my stash, right, I'm going to go ahead and put these pages together. And we're going to try and use it. So now this one is just my archive, and it has just like my past pages, the pages that I've already completed, right? So what I'm going to do is go in here, and I ended with December, and then these are like August, September, October, November, and December. So it's like the last six months. So I'm still going to stick them in here, but I think what I'm going to do is count off. Now again, this is how I break down planners, so this is kind of a weird random video, but like this is how I break it down. I want to try to get 5 weekly pages together. So I take, let's see, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, that has 4, so I need an extra page, and I just pull it from like the different sections. So that's actually, I want one that has like the polka dots, right? So let me go back here. So that's 5. All right, so again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And since this is outdated, I can just redate the entire thing. I'm not worried about like it being different months or anything like that, because I have to redate pretty much the entire thing anyway. So that will be 1 month, right? So then the next one, again, just 5 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, nope, that's not 4. That was 3. Okay, this is like, so 4, and then we'll put this one back in for 5. All right, so let me again count that, because I somehow mix this all up. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and then as I put these pages together, clearly like some weeks do have 5 weeks and some weeks have 4 weeks, and so if I'm redating and I end up with an extra week, I just move it out and move it towards the back and add it to another month. And as those extra pages like that don't make 5 weeks kind of like pile up, then they end up in like this setup where it's just like one random week that's kind of set to the side. So that's how that kind of works. All right, so like example here is like, this is just like right now a random week that doesn't have anything else. Actually, like, does it pick up right here? Okay, so let's see. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so that's like 3 weeks. So that's a random 3 weeks. I need 2 more pages for that. And then here, 1, 2, 3. All right, so that's another random 3 weeks. Okay, and then here, this is the front page, so you can't use that, right? So let's go back here. I already had 3 weeks in here, so I'm gonna add 4 and 5, right? And so that will be 5 weeks for that. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, right? With the front and the back like that. Hopefully this is making sense. This is just kind of how I do it, right? Kind of a random video, I know. I'm so sorry for that, but this is how I do it. Okay, and so this matches here with the lines, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, and that ends, right? So this had 3 random weeks, and this had 3 random weeks. And because these are random weeks, I just, like I said, I just stick them at the end, and they end up, you know, being used at some point. And you know, it could be something where, because 2024 might be where I don't use monthly dividers. I actually need monthly dividers for work. I like to track my work hours on monthly dividers, but I might be able to glue those pages together and do something like that. But I need to find dividers for this planner as well, and I think I might go ahead and do that for this video. Again, this is like the most random video, but this is my setup. This is how I do it. So let me go grab some dividers. Okay, I've got my book of dividers here, all of the dividers that we've got in here, and I think what I'm gonna do, just to kind of keep it straightforward, is I'm gonna use like a set of dividers that kind of match. So let me see. I think we'll just start pulling it randomly. Okay, so I need 12 months worth. So let's get a December. I'm going backwards here, so December. All right, I like this one. All right, November. I like the florals, so I might just try to pull all these floral ones. Here's October. And I'm pretty sure I have the entire set, so let's see if I can do this. If not, then I can fill in with some of these other ones, of course. Okay, so this one's probably the plainest one. I'm also trying to keep the tabs in order, right? So that way they stay like that. So now I need a top tab for August. And if I'm using the same set of dividers, it will be in order, right? So that's August. Let's go to July. All right, July. This will be where it goes into a different, for me, for a different semester. So June and July are basically summer months. So that's fine like that. I talked about this in one of my previous videos, but like, I actually really love the August start planners. I'm kind of disappointed that they have gotten rid of August start planners, especially for the big planner, because it works so well to kind of have it have an August start with the big dividers, because it's I'll show you in just a second. So this one I couldn't find the floral divider, so I'll just use that one. That one's cute, right? You don't just teach, you inspire. Teaching is sweet, right? Those are my 2 options for April. I'll go with this one. All right, and then March, let's see. Feeling lucky to be a teacher. Oh, this one's cute. Let's use this floral one. And then February, learn something new every day. Educational rock star. All right, and that's it for February. So let me, I like this one. I'm gonna use that one. Okay, and then this is my work planner. I am a teacher, so right. That one's cute. I like that one. All right, here's the divider that goes. All right, I'm not quite sure what happens to the other floral dividers, but there was enough to like get it to work, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so going back to what I was saying, I do like the August start planners for big, just because I wish they had kept August start planners, because like right here, January, February, March, April, and May, that's basically spring semester for me, right? And then June and July, June starts right here, that's summer semester for me. And then August, September, October, November, and December, those 5 months are my fall semester. So it, to me, just like worked out really well for big planners. It doesn't work for classic planners, but like for big planners, I loved buying August start planners for that reason. And now they don't have August start planners anymore. So anyway, I'm gonna put this in when I like figure out life and what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna put the dividers at the beginning as well, like with these classic size pages. So even though they're classic size, I will just stick a big divider in there to separate those months. And I do want to count down and just make sure that I have enough weeks. Okay, I paused the last video and just kind of wrapped it up, but I did go ahead and update it, and my baby is still sleeping, so I wanted to do a flip through of what it looks like before she wakes up. So it's still set up on the same kind of like outdated planner that I've got, but I did put in basically all of the current pages. And then I added all the dividers into the correct locations. I did go through and count all the different weeks, so that way I have enough weeks, whether it's 4 or 5 weeks of weekly pages for all of the pages. I haven't redated it yet, but it's all in here ready to be redated. And so I put the dividers in. I also had a bunch of like leftover dividers from the quill bound planner and the outdated pages from the quill bound planner that I'm going to go ahead and try to use as well. And so I did match up the design here. And so I mentioned in the previous part that I do need a monthly calendar, and so I'm going to go ahead and use the monthly calendar. I did match it up so that way it matched here, and then I counted off how many weeks I needed, and that is what I did for all the way until May. So May has a big divider, but the classic divider as well that I'm going to use for the monthly pages, as well as the outdated classic vertical pages from the quill bound planner. So that's basically all of the academic year, which is exciting, and now that I've done that, I realized I could have just kept it in classic size, but that's okay. Then for May, one thing that May kind of like had was an extra week. So I have 4 pages here, and then I needed a 5th page. So this is the beginning of like kind of going into like the big pages. So the last week of May, this is what it's supposed to be, right? And then going into the summer months, I did try to kind of like match the dividers here, so the divider and the monthly page could be together, but in some cases you'll see they don't match at all. But I do just use this functionally. I need to redate it, but then I just kind of put my work hours on here so it doesn't have to be like perfectly matching. And then again, I got all the pages, like whether it's 4 weeks or 5 weeks in here. Some weeks are like these kind of random like in between weeks, and I just taped these together so it goes from like this page into the next page. So that's a plan for later in the future to do that and to redate. And so like here's an example of July. I put the July divider in here, but these pages are super old and they don't match in terms of design, but I think that's totally okay. And what I'm gonna do after redating and doing all of those things is come back in and kind of like decorate it and maybe make it match a little bit more, but again, it could be just functional. I don't really worry about that so much. And then I have all of those pages that I need for July. Here's August with its corresponding, that looks a little bit better, not too crazy off, but like there's some color here and I've like written on it all sorts of stuff. This is September. I'll show you the divider too. And this is what that looks like. They're like very different. Here is October. And again, very different. November divider, and then November, this actually matches. And then December with that page, right? So again, it doesn't match too well, but that's okay, I'll survive. And then I realized that I still have a ton of pages here, so this might be a project that goes all the way into 2025. I am still using down my supplies, and so yeah, it's gonna be a multi-year project to use down my supplies because I have so many things. But yeah, now next step for this work planner is to redate it, and again, I'll do that off camera, and then what I'll do is at some point, probably at the end of July, if I have time, come back on and kind of like do the pre-planning, like the decorative planning, put all the stickers down, especially for the monthly pages, and just kind of like get those set up and have it ready so that way I can like start writing down the big events on my monthly planner, and then we'll be set for pretty much the entire academic year as well as some of next academic year. So I'm excited about that. So yeah. I know this video was kind of all over the place, but hopefully you were able to follow along. If you have any questions about my setup here and like how I'm using all these pages, you can see I'm trying to use up what I have, and so that's kind of like why it's a mix of like all sorts of different things. But hopefully it was inspiring to you, motivating to you to use your own supplies. Please do that instead of just buying things and hoarding it. Definitely use your things. I bought it to be able to use it for planning, and so I'm glad to be able to put this together. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel, and until the next video, bye guys.